Good evening, everybody.
Actually played the sound for a change for me, but that was weird. Didn't show the clip, but played the sound. You want to show what you're working on?
Sure, give me a second, though.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. So I am working on, for all of you who have been asking over and over and over again for more Dresden content, I made Dresden content. This one is a call with Victor Sells from book 1, Stormfront. There's only 4 people on here. I'm going to give it a few minutes. But anyways, it's a call with him, preparing him for basically John introducing himself to Victor Sells, because Victor's a brand new villain, doesn't know who John is, doesn't know what villain support is. And actually, John was referred to Victor by Shazak, who's this little demon here in the corner. A demon that Victor had taken control of himself. So now we just go back to text, add a text box, a call with Victor Sells. That, and then this is going to get effects outline will be white, and then the text itself will be red. No, copy.
Yeah, Steve and I got some sleep. It was only a couple hours, and it was broken up quite a bit, sadly. Kept on having phone calls and stuff, and I couldn't mute my phone because Frodo was at the vet, which they have come back. They're good. They got a lot of medication. They had 10 teeth pulled.
Oh, wow.
You know, when and Ryu brought up a really good point. A few years back, they stopped adding fluoride to the water. And like, now we have problems with the cats, and us and everyone else's teeth are all like having issues. Of course. No, not overnight. They got her all squared away and taken care of, and she's back home now. So she's not happy with that. She lost her 2 top front fangs. It kind of sucks.
Oh,
she got the bottom 2 though.
That does suck.
Are you gonna do a series where of the Dresden stuff, kind of like?
Yeah, I want to do like one call from each book.
Oh, okay.
All right, so everyone, now we got 24 people in here. I am doing Dresden content. If you guys know the Dresden Files, I recorded a call with Victor Sells of John introducing himself to Victor, because Victor's a brand new villain, doesn't know what villain support is or anything. We got Victor with his green magic here, calling a green thunderstorm, which references the storms from don't do that, computer. Oh well, references the storms from the book Stormfront that he uses to do his dirty work. We've got Shazak, the demon, who Victor has under control. So, Levi, I appreciate your recommendations for the thumbnail, because I think it's going to turn out real nice.
You're welcome.
See, I kind of wish I could put Chicago's downtown in the distance, but that's just me too much. Resident Victor Sells. Victor Sells thumbnail. Save. And so the Victor video was mostly improvised.
Some of the best stuff is that way.
It's not haha funny, but if you know the series, it's fun.
Can I say something? And this is without seeing it, and it's the same thing that you've done to me. So it's effectively the same stuff that you've said to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Trying to remember how you said it because my brain isn't completely functioning the way I want. So, like you said, it's for those who have seen it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about new people who don't know what Dresden is? Is it formatted in a way that it's still fun?
It's an introduction to the book. It's John explaining to Victor, talking about the demon he summoned, talking about, you don't want to run into Dresden. Here's a little bit of information about the magical world. It's definitely a great introduction to the series also.
So I'm grabbing Audacity. That's weird.
Sounds good, Zena. I'm having all the meats pizza.
Okay. Seems like a pretty simple, straightforward little tool.
Can I speak to Victor Sells, please? Can you hear it? Hey, Victor,
Yeah.
This is John in Villain Support. I got your name and your number from Kolsch's, from the toad demon that you summoned. I apologize about almost saying his name. He said that he thinks you could use my help. I'm not surprised that you haven't heard of me. I am a consultant for villains, agents of chaos, evil warlords, dark magic users, etc. He gave me a quick background on you, and it seems like you become.
Can I have you pause it real quick?
Advanced magic user in a very short amount of time, which is
just because I got some questions here. This was at the front cam, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, with the back cam, you should be able to make that go out, and then we can edit it. That way, you get more of the background you like.
This is already zoomed in, but yeah.
Oh, that's already zoomed in. What is it zoomed out? I think that's fine. The only issue is the blank space, but I don't.
Right, which is why I moved it in, so I'm more in the middle of the screen.
Yeah. Now the only issue, and I'm asking, I'm going to ask everyone else because I'm partial with again, this is me being able to see more of us in general because of the movements that we do with our hands and everything. And this feels, and it could be just because I'm used to it. I think that's part of the reason. Feels like we're losing a fair bit of stuff. And if you go and turn that into a vertical, go ahead and turn that into a vertical.
I did already. Hold on.
Not gonna lie, I hate that. I scroll past those type of videos because it's a headshot. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Not like I would prefer the Viva La Dirt League style where we get to see more of you than I would of that. But that is a personal preference. What about all of you? When you look at that, is that something that you're like, cool, fine, not a big deal, it's whatever. And I think part of it is coming from a fan. I'm still stuck on Hillbilly Borg. We are going to work on that today. We got one thing to work on before that.
Please. Hey, Victor, this is John in Villain Support. I got your name and your number from Kalsh's, from the Toad Demon that you summoned. I apologize about almost saying his name. He said that he thinks you could use my help.
Turn off your mic real quick.
I'm not surprised that you haven't heard of me. I am a consultant for villains, agents of chaos, evil warlords, dark magic users, etc. He gave me a quick background on you, and it seems like you become a rather advanced magic user in a very short amount of time, which is fantastic. And he also said you've got this new drug called 3i, which grants wizard sight. That's great, and it's selling like crazy, which is awesome. I would love to help you increase sales even further. But before we talk about that, I have some concerns about this. I'm going to blow people's hearts up with orgies and thunderstorms approach that you've been taking that he told me about.
Can I pause it right there again?
No.
How far in is that when you do the concerns line? I can't hear you.
45 seconds or so.
How long is the video?
A little over 4 minutes.
Cool. Cut out that first 40 seconds. It is so damn boring. I'm so sorry. Like, I understand it's an introduction. And I would like it is such a
I would love to help you increase sales even further.
It feels like a chore.
Before we talk about that,
trying to watch it up to that point, but like saying that one line, I'm instantly hooked with that one line that you had.
But before we talk about that,
like right after that, I have some concerns. I have some concerns, and then it's about the origin. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's great, and it's selling like crazy, which is awesome. I would love to help you increase sales even further.
You could probably even go to that wizard
site. About
that wizard site still gets me a hook. It's still a hook. It's just not as good of a hook as the other one.
No, I totally agree with you. Hold on.
And this is for everyone wondering. I have not read Dresden. I'm struggling with being able to read the digital books right now, which I need to download them on my new my new ebook. I should do that. That way I can actually read them. But so this is coming from somebody who doesn't know Dresden, and it's like I would have scrolled past at this point. Mind you, and this is like me coming from a fan going like, oh, I recognize this. I'm not a huge fan of the current way it looks, but I'm a fan. I want to see what he's doing.
Concerns about this. I'm going to blow people's hearts up with orgies and thunderstorms that he told me about. No, Victor, I understand the magical processes behind it, okay? I'm concerned that it's going to attract the wrong kind of attention. There's between the high-profile chest-bursting murders and the Toad Demon you summoned and are still controlling, I would be shocked if the White Council didn't take notice and send someone to investigate sooner rather than later. They're the governing council of magic on your world. They're made up of the strongest wizards and magic users. You're already breaking their laws. Things like killing with magic and controlling other creatures against their will with magic are both violations, man. Okay, and there's not really a court system. They've got these guys called wardens who are, essentially magical federal agents armed with badass magic and swords, and most of them are not the type to ask questions first. No, that is not going to work. Look, I know that Kalsh's the Toad Demon is strong, but you don't understand how much stronger these White Council guys are than you. And he wouldn't really register as that much of a threat to them. And besides, it's about time to send him back to the pit and just let him go. I know he's been helpful, but he's just going to keep working on breaking free from your control, man. He's going to be asking about your name, trying to break your control. And look, it might take him a while, okay? But when he does break free, and he will, you're toad food. Okay, well ultimately, I'm villain support, not villain advice, and not villain orders. You don't have to listen to anything that I say. But Victor, can you hold on 1 second? I have a call I have to put on hold.
Okay. Hey, Marcone, can I call you right back? Okay, great. Yeah, it'll be 5 minutes, 10 max. Okay, bye.
That's another villain who's looking for the guy that I'm talking to.
Yeah.
Because the person whose chest he bursted was one of that guy's minions.
Okay.
Victor, are you still there? Okay, so Dresden, the guy from the phone book? Yeah, I don't know a ton about him. I do know that this is the guy who defeated and banished He Who Walked Behind. A ridiculously powerful outsider. I don't have time to explain to you what outsiders are, but short of recommending that you avoid them at all costs. I would also recommend you avoid Dresden too, if you can. I mean, if a confrontation becomes unavoidable with him, and it comes down to it, and you still have the Toad Demon under control, I mean, I guess you could sick call Shazak on him. And shit, I said the name. The Toad Demon's name. You may have to say it 3 times. I only have to say it once.
Why?
Because I'm much, much, much more powerful than you, Victor. Stop asking questions and get to repeating his name before he eats you.
Okay. So, is it okay if may I give you 2 pieces of feedback on this?
Yep.
Okay. One, there's a button point that I absolutely love, but I understand why you probably didn't button it there. And it's like right after your toad food.
Uh-huh.
That's such a cool fun, like from start to finish right there. I'm good. I'm like hooked throughout the whole thing. Right? Afterwards, you start to lose me. Even as a fan, I'm like I understand it. As a fan, I'm like, oh, this is kind of a bit of lore that I kind of like, right? And I feel you have the opportunity. Like, how long is that right there?
1 minute 50.
So that would make a perfect short. How long is it? And like the whole thing is a whole video, right?
3:28.
Okay. So for your short, cut it off at the toad food. I think that works perfect. From start to finish, I'm interested. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm listening. I'm hooked. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And I'm just constantly paying attention. I have forgotten, in all honesty, from start to finish, I have forgotten about the orientation. So you do an excellent job keeping my attention as somebody who has no idea what the freak is going on. And I love it. Now, afterwards, from this point onward, as a fan of villain support, I'm like, oh, this is something different. You have that little bit of like, moment of where I might swipe away.
I can still way condense this.
You could.
Oh yeah.
I would suggest cutting off the entire bit about the reason why, and let that be a question that like the fans answer or somebody ask. Or because honestly, you've proven that you're really powerful in earlier skits. So let the fans do the job of explaining why, and just cut it there rather than. And this is going to sound bad, but it's just straightforward. Using my kid's example of words, it's a cringe fest at the end there. Unless you were to lean into it and literally go, because I am more powerful, and like have the earth shaking effect and stuff. It's like just saying you're more powerful without demonstrating it. It's like, yeah, okay. Put the fries in the bag, bro. Type of scenario.
Did I delete? I better not have deleted that. Oh, there it is.
And oh, Leo, that's a good one. I said toad food, not tofu. But I like his take up to that point. All the way up to that point is solid, and then afterwards, yes, that last bit could be condensed down to maybe 30-40 seconds, and you wind up having just a start to finish short. I honestly think that you should keep this take. You should just cut off that end bit where you say the reason why. Keep the rest of the take, to be honest, because you give lore to the fans. The people who want to continue watching our stuff are going to continue watching that video. At 1:30, you've already gained most of the traction, and whoever wants to stay is going to stay to learn more about villain support. So you have a good formatted video right there, in my opinion.
Yep.
So I do not feel it needs to be condensed. I do not feel it needs to be rewritten. But if you feel it does, by all means. The only other issue I have is the format of which the video looks. But that's not a huge concern. Obviously, because the 1:30 or whatever, I completely forgot about the format. Now, I want to test something here. Testing 1, 2. Nope, that did not work. How do I delete? The reason why I don't like new tools.
What tool?
I was told to try to get Audacity for. Oh, there it is. For things. How do I make it so that it's coming out of this mic? Testing, Cletus. Testing 1, 2. That's a weird voice, but I don't know. We're just trying it out. Oh, I forgot to hit stop. No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. That is, and there's not like a back button either. Nope, I don't know what happened there. Okay. Wonder why I don't like Audacity and stuff like that. It is got its moments. Go away. Testing, please. Testing 1, 2. I don't know. We're just So one of the reasons why Audacity is apparently really good is because it's got like a sound mixer and all this other stuff. I feel like it's definitely a tool that we can learn to use, but I'm not going to sit here trying to struggle learning how to use it right now. I'll probably just default to CapCut for now.
Yeah.
I'll just change its form a little bit. Fluffy demon. So one of the other things we want to talk about is the Stitch, where we want Stitch to go to next. By the way, for everyone here, I had this idea, and you guys were there to help me. A lot of you were there to help me write it out. But I realized that we have a moment before we need to like figure out what's going on. And so we need to have a moment where Levi's on full vacation, which we've had, where he's found out that he just started his vacation. But now we have John and Nappa dealing with stuff. And I want to hint for this upcoming video that the Borg are going to play a bigger part. Effectively, the Borg and Stitch are in the same universe, just not in the Star Trek universe yet. So what universe do we want the Borg to effectively be attacking? And find out this is technically part of Stitch's stuff. We don't have to have that last bit, but what universe is the Borg attacking that the Borg then get wiped out by Stitch? No, not going to do the Freddy Krueger bit. for that. I have no problem doing that skit later down the road, but that is not going to be in. So do we? Well, again, this is the Borg right now. Stitch just happens to be there. It will be part of the series of the Stitch series as a way to further the story and be like, hey, Levi's on full vacation. And so we get to see, Nappa and John doing their job competently. And then Stitch comes in and they're like, oh my God, I do not want to deal with this. Because Levi has been dealing with it and was like, nope, you know what? You two can deal with everything right now. So it puts more on their plate because Levi went poof. Which, if you've ever worked in any position, to have somebody go, you know what, all of you, I'm on vacation for a while. You can all handle my clients, my work, my thing, and everything like that. It's like, oh, that sucks.
Sorry, I'm not ignoring you. I've got a work thing I have to deal with.
You're okay. No, I don't think the Marvel 616 universe is something that we could easily do, but we've also done quite a bit of. And we did the whole Borg Queen Pool thing. Now it is hinted at already that the reason why this is happening, the Borg going where they're going, is because of the Borg Queen Pool incident. That's going to be the reason why the Borg are doing what they're doing, and so on and so forth.
Sorry, I got to pop my work computer on for a minute. I apologize.
You want me to remove you from here real quick?
Nope. They're not going to hear anything.
Okay.
Or see anything. Unless this camera can bend light and.
Then we got another question to ask.
Right.
Send Stitch to the Big Hero 6 with the Borg. That still is technically 616, but you'll analyze the reflection of Chris's glasses to spy on him.
Good luck.
Gotham Annual Masquerade. Okay, so let's change this up. Let's rewind and stop thinking about the Stitch part of this right now. I will figure that out in a bit. Who do you want to see the Borg go after? Is the big question. Who do you want to see the Borg run after somebody? And now they're not a huge part, like in comparison to the Predators. There's less people wanting to watch this. So I'm still going to label it as the Stitch video because more people will gravitate towards that. We'll figure out the title. But the Borg go somewhere. Care Bears? Oh my God, that's such a weird one to do. The Care Bear? Why would the Borg go after the Care Bears? Oh my God, that is... I feel like the Borg going after SG-1 would be a good one, and we've hinted at that before that it would be a problem.
That'd be fun.
We could totally, and we've done this before, where we've tied two series into it, and then each series just simply had an intersecting point and then went about their own ways, and it's had middling success because the people who are watching one series were watching it for that reason. The people who are watching the other one were watching it. And so you'd have a few of the mix-in fans, and the mix-in fans were like, oh, I understand what's going on. That's a cut point.
Right.
So I think that would be great. So yeah, let's do that.
Already resolved.
Huh?
That's already resolved.
All right.
I just sent an email to someone to let them know, hey, I did do what you're accusing me of not doing, and here it is.
So, what technology would be advanced enough that the Borg would actually want it?
The replicators.
Okay.
Actually, no. They would want everything from the Asgard. They would want the Jaffa.
Okay, so then let's have it be the Gould, because this could wind up being its own separate series if it takes
Yep.
off. So let's have it be the Borg versus the Gould, SG Stargate, you know.
Yeah.
Um
They'd also want Atlantis.
oh, they would. Let's start with the Gould. It's a good starter point at the start of the series because that's
Mhm.
you know. So it's gonna be the we're gonna start this off, and this is gonna hint at the fact that this is part of that. So it means I won't be in this series for a couple minutes at least. Let's go with
Is Coco Bread the guy who does the gunfights with the hand monster or whatever in his bedroom? I think I know who that is, but we don't ever deal with him. I think he fights a thing called the bed monster.
Gould.
Yeah,
Is it
okay.
spelled Gould?
GOA''ULD. Go out old. You're pronouncing it. You're pronouncing the way that General Hammond says it. General Hammond calls them the Goulds, but they're actually the Go out old.
Gould.
Go out old.
Borg versus Stargate Gould. Okay, so here that's what it's going to be. That's going to be the and it's technically going to be part of. Let me.
Stephen Lockie, every single caption of Go Old. Oh yeah, 100%.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna concentrate. We're gonna concentrate on making the Borg versus Stargate Go Old. Is what we're gonna concentrate on.
FNAF glitch.
And we can figure out how to insert Stitch into it after we figure that, and then take the parts that we want to make a storyline. Kind of like when a a side tangent story happens, and you're like, oh, that explains so much. Oh, that's interesting because this thing was happening at this time, right? It's just a point in the story where it has to be told, or it has to be completely skipped and just referenced. And I don't want to skip and reference it because so many people on so many shows get pissed off and like, I kind of wanted to know what was going on. Why'd you just do that? Oh, budgeting reasons. I understand. But we don't have a budget for this type of stuff. We are the budget. So we know from our universe, this is at the point after the Borg Queen pool incident. The Borg Queen does that, blah, blah, blah. All right, so we could very easily tie in, because we didn't do reference the Picard stuff or anything like that I remember. We could very easily have it be at the start of the Stargate series, where the Gould are the big bad. Do we want to reference Ra and use it as a way to reference, like, hey, man, you shouldn't have done this to begin with? And at what point do we find our loopholes? Because to everyone here, me and Chris have talked about the number of plot holes and whatnot that are in Stargate that we can reference and grab onto. There are a lot at every season, at every point.
Yeah.
And how fast we, move the ball down the line is however fast we want to, right? Ra? Yeah, Ra. Rasputin. Plot holes. There's so many of them. So, Chris, the question is, right now, movie or show? Because the show does a great job referencing the movie. But
Stargate the movie was a great introduction to the universe, but none of the universe was thought out at that point.
yeah,
None of it.
and the show did a great job fixing a lot of that stuff down the road.
So yeah,
and
show.
referencing more of it.
Show.
But the question is if we're going to use Raw, do we want to, we're at what point of the journey? Like, we want to figure out, like, the Borg are trying to assimilate or take on Raw's army. At what point? Is it during the movie point? Is it right after? I feel like it should be at the start of the show. Because, like, we're not going to skip the movie, don't get me wrong, but that allows us to reference the movie in a different video and everything, and then have this be its own series. What if the Borg later on tries to assimilate Cybertron and its inhabitants? Possibly. It's always a possible. Again, it all depends on if this series takes off, because the Borg have had coin flip numbers. There's been videos that do really well. And on TikTok, the Borg is what blew up the channel to start off with. But it didn't keep the channel going. It was the Predator videos that really, in particular one, that started it all. So I'm guessing are you busy rewriting?
Yeah, I'm shortening it dramatically.
I told you it's okay, but okay.
No, it's not.
Please tell me you're not messing with that first minute 30 I told you was actually good.
No. I'm removing most of the beginning, but adding a little bit of it back in.
Yeah.
But just hold on.
Chris.
Yeah.
Steven's allowed to his opinion, but he's wrong.
Ooh. Steven, you're an imaginary timeout for a minute for that one. I'm just kidding.
I like both of them, and that's not like, it's not like I haven't heard this opinion before, where they would have kept, like, a bunch of people prefer that they would have just done a bunch of movies. I can actually, but I'm not going to. I can, you can't. I can go put user in timeout, but I'm not going to do that, because if I put it in timeout here, it screws it up, and sometimes it just bans you. So I'm just not going to mess with it. Besides, we said pretend. Hey, is this villain sport? Because I need help with something. I found it funny in one episode, they were getting ready to open the gate, and they had all these grass in the gate room standing in front of all the guards. Yeah, that's another thing. That's such a big plot hole right there. How all the generals and everything would be in front of it. Hell no, they wouldn't. They would walk around, and if they were meeting delegates or something, maybe. But even then, the delegates would have already been there, not be showing up. And then that was a continuous plot hole where the delegates would portal in or whatever. And it's I'm sorry. They've done it a couple times where the delegates showed up, and then they were shuffled to a room, and then in there. But for their allies, they were like, oh, well, our allies are allies. We trust them. And then there would be times where the allies were getting shot, and I'm like, no. So much wrong. How dare Levi, you're with Steven? And again, this is a show, so there's going to be issues and plot holes and stuff like that. But let's concentrate on the skit as soon as Chris is available for it. Because, like I said, Borg versus Stargate Goa'uld is what's going to be. We're going to reference Stitch and get it in there and find out what's going on And it's gonna be that idea of meanwhile, while Levi is on vacation, we see the Borg versus Stargate go old, and we see a little bit of what's going on with Stitch. The reality is, when I cut this into a video for the Stitch series, I will probably cut parts out of the videos to make it make sense for the storyline of Stitch that are important. But I need that time point of Levi on vacation. Otherwise, it's just this huge empty space of like, what has happened with Stitch? What is going on? How are John and Nappa handling it? That a bunch of people are asking questions on. And it's like, I can ignore it. Just move on to the next part of the story. And from a short form storytelling, social media aspect, it would work. It would be successful. But we have found that when we make longer stories, we should address those points. They do much better, and they keep the audience attention for much longer throughout the longer compilations and stuff. So with that in my mindset here, I'm like, okay, since I know I have to do this and I have the opportunity to make this project however I want, that's what I'm going to do. We're going to create an entirely separate subsect project. And if it succeeds, it succeeds. If it's videos strictly so that I can turn around and put them in the Stitch, that's fine too.
Okay.
But if it winds up creating a whole nother series, yeah. That's just a bonus.
All right. I think this is going to work out a lot better. I have to put the stupid headset on to do it properly. Sorry.
Can I show the screen?
No. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you want me? Are you sure you don't want this voiced? Like, I'm sure I could play a voice or two for you.
I mean, we could totally voice Victor. Yeah, let me run this first and time it.
All right.
I don't. Calculator is not going to give us time. Hold on. Stopwatch. All right. Well, I'm calling because I have concerns about this. I'm going to blow up people's hearts remotely using Origins and Thunderstorms approach that you've been taking. Yeah, I'm not surprised you don't know who I am. I'm a consultant for villains, agents of chaos, evil warlords, dark magic users, etc. I got your name and number from Kolchazak. Sorry, from the Toad Demon you summoned. He said he could use my help. Seems he's become a rather advanced magic user in a very short amount of time. I'm concerned it's going to attract the wrong kind of attention. Between the chest-bursting murders and summoning and controlling Kolchazak, you've already broken magical laws. Multiple magical laws. Sorry, I got to start back over. I also got to talk a little slower because I'm speeding up. Well, Victor, I'm calling because I have some concerns about this. I'm going to blow up people's hearts. Well, Victor, I'm calling because I have some concerns about this. I'm going to blow up people's hearts remotely using Orgies and Thunderstorms approach that you've been taking. Yeah, I'm not surprised you don't know who I am. I'm a consultant for villains, agents of chaos, evil warlords, dark magic users, etc. I got your name and number from Kolchazak. Sorry, from the Toad Demon you summoned. He said that you could use my help. Seems to become rather advanced as a magic user in a very short amount of time. Well, I'm concerned that you're going to attract the wrong kind of attention, right? Between the chest-bursting murders and summoning and controlling Kolchazak, you've already broken multiple magical laws. What? Oh, crap, I'm sorry. I won't say the Toad Demon's name a third time. I promise. Speaking of, it's about time to release him back to the pit. He's just going to keep working on breaking free, and when he does break free from your control, and he will, you're toad food. Toad food, not tofu. Victor, look, you don't have to listen to anything that I say, all right? Crap, can you hold on a moment? Marcone, can I call you right back? Okay, great. Yeah, it'll be 5 minutes, 10 max. All right, bye. Victor, are you there? Okay, so the wizard from the phone book? You mean Dresden? I don't know a ton about the guy, though he did get lucky and managed to defeat Banish, He Who Walks Behind. Badass extra-dimensional monster. Anyway, I'd recommend avoiding Dresden if you can, but if a confrontation with him becomes unavoidable and it comes down to it, you can probably make it easier on yourself by sticking Kolchazak on. Shit, I said his name a third time. Call Shazak, do not eat the wizard. Victor, say his name. Say his name 3 times fast. It's a minute 51.
Okay. And this is where we can get some feedback from the audience here. A lot of people, and I really like this part of the lore, and even from a new person aspect, I think it's really cool and does play a part of reality where you get a company so large. Like, let's put it this way. I don't care where you're from. You know, you've at least heard of Microsoft, even if you have a misunderstanding of what it is. Right?
Right.
Okay.
I'm going to get rid of the Marcone bit because that's a very inside jokey thing on Dresden.
I didn't mind the inside jokes in the original one. It gave something for those who knew what Dresden was and everything to latch onto. And I think you should keep an inside joke in there, at least one. I will say that the second line you have, the very wordy explaining who we are type thing, that's your opportunity, especially if you decide to have this voiced, where you could toss a joke in and make it like, you haven't heard of us? We're villain support. Everyone's heard of us. And then, like, if you give him a voice, he could totally say something like, off the cuff, like, oh, the company that made anvils, or something. Like, you could reference it, and I was like, we make a lot more thing. Like, I'm not saying to use that considering we're trying to step away from it. It's just the point, you know. We do a lot more than just that, and and you can have that. I think, how old is this guy?
Which guy?
The guy you're talking to.
He's like in his mid-40s. He's having a midlife crisis, and his midlife crisis was discovering dark magic.
Is he good with technology, anything like that?
No, because he's a magical wizard in a world where magic ruins technology.
All right. And in the Dresden universe, the timeline of which you're talking to them, it's like what, 80s, 90s, 2000s, something like that?
Mid to late 90s.
Mid to late 90s.
Put it this way. If a magic user in the Dresden verse is on the toilet taking a poop and they strain too hard, they shut their own, everyone's internet connection in the building will go out.
Okay. That should be a skit. Sorry. You don't need to see that. You should be like, okay, so it appears that a wizard was taking a shit and he was a little constipated. I apologize for the inconvenience. The internet will be back on as soon as we get the wizard to leave the building. Well, I don't know. It depends on how long he's going to still be shitting, because as far as we know, he's still on the toilet. It's such a stupid joke. Talk about shitty internet. Yeah, Comcast. I'm sorry. But I like the idea of like a joke thrown in there of like, he's heard of it. He's just not entirely sure of what it does. So he says something that's like, if you can make it funny, great. But just something like off the wall, like, oh, it's this. And it's like, bam. Okay. No. And then you get to laugh at it. And it's like, no, that's not all we do. We offer help for villains. You don't even have to reference that. But if you cut out his voice, you can make it be a one-liner. If you don't want to have his voice to be there, you can make it a one-liner and be like, all right, no, we don't just do whatever insert thing. We do a lot more than that. Look. I got your number from such and such, and you move forward. This way, you don't you cut off like 3 lines of.
I'm already shrinking it down, and I'm adding Victor's lines in.
Oh, okay. For everyone here, if you can't tell, I'm a little bit tired still. But there are certain things I want to accomplish today, and we're just wanting to work, since Chris is working on the Dresden, concentrate on that.
I didn't mean to take the stream over. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Like you said, there's no obligation to have the animated skit out by a certain set of time. I'm just ready to film and do the things. And I wanted you in here Since I'm voicing, for everyone wondering, I'm getting to the voice the hillbilly Borg. So for this hillbilly Borg, we kind of want to figure out like what type of voice we want and everything. And so it's a matter of like I didn't want to, and this has been happened in the past where I go to do a voice and we're back and forth, and there's no issues with back and forth. This is something like, since it's a project for me and Chris, we're well aware, like, okay, we're gonna have a back and forth for a while. Rather than spend like 4 hours trying to figure out the voice, it's much easier to just sit here and be like, oh, tweak it like this, tweak it like that. There's no more bread. Oh, there was a bread twist. There's only one.
No, there's one. I didn't feel like making any more because I haven't had any of the bread twists. And there's one slice of my pizza left.
You want to take one? You can take the pepperoni if you want.
I already microwaved all the slices. But you said you wanted 2 slices.
No, I said I wanted 2 slices if you couldn't get me a bread twist.
Oh, okay.
Here.
I'll take the pepperoni, I guess. Because you can't have a lot of cheese. Unless you want that one.
I wouldn't mind having at least half of it. But, like, are you hungry? Did you only have 1 slice? Well, then come grab this other slice of pizza. Don't walk. Oh, child! When they get old enough, if they refuse to take the food that you're trying to give them off of your own plate. Yeah, that was Raven. Tobias would have totally been like, okay, I'll take the food. Southern, not Western. The Western, you would get a little bit more of a Texas drawl. And I'm not very good at the Texas drawl, to be honest. And you can have like any voice with the Texas drawl. I'd have to look it up and listen to it. I could probably get it if I listen to it. Been around enough people who do that too. If you offer it, it's not as much fun as if they took. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna address this FNAF glitch. I'm gonna address this real quick. I apologize. I'm usually more than in the mood to do a role play thing periodically. I just not today. I'm not saying to stop. Just that's the reason why I'm not responding as much as like I've done in the past. So to everyone in chat, FNAF is wanting to do a little bit of role play. If you guys want to go ahead and do that, by all means. I'm just kind of concentrating on like getting stuff done, helping Chris out with his skit. Then he's going to help us out with ours, and then we're going to do the skit together. So, oh no, FNAF, that's okay. There's plenty of people who have done role playing stuff. You're all good. I'm just today. I'm really tired. I've only had a few hours of sleep, and it was like really broken up and everything. So I apologize. I'm just not all here in my brain. I have to put the brain power towards the things it needs to be. Remember, Logan, it's Starshine. I love the idea that it's Starshine. Possibly. Chris. So you got Starshine and then you got Cosmic Piss.
God, piss.
Antimatter? Oh my god, that is a good one. We are gonna have to save those. 1 second. I didn't mean to hit that, but all right.
Okay. I'm ready to go. You play the role of Victor.
Let me make this note real quick. I sometimes forget how fast I can type when I'm just copying stuff. Okay, go ahead.
1 second.
I'm just gonna do a normal voice. I don't know how Victor should sound.
No, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. I mean, he's gonna be kind of like an evil wizard, like not like ooh or anything. He's just gonna be like like
Dark and brooding or funny?
I don't know who you are. How you can kind of brooding, trying to sound tough.
Okay.
Anyways, Victor, you don't know me, but I'm calling because I have some concerns about this. I'm gonna blow up people's hearts remotely using orgies and thunderstorms approach. I heard you've been taken.
I don't know who you are or how you know what I'm doing, but as soon as I figure it out, you're dead.
Calm down, Victor. I'm a consultant for villains, agents of chaos, evil warlords, dark magic users, etc. I got your name and number from Kolchazak. Sorry, from the toad demon you summoned. He thinks you could use my help.
And how exactly could I use your help?
Well, he's concerned, and I am too, that everything you're doing is going to attract the wrong kind of attention. Between the chest-bursting murders and summoning and controlling Kolchazak, you've already broken multiple magical laws.
Please stop saying the toad demon's name.
Crap. Victor, I'm sorry. I won't say it again. Promise. Speaking of, it's probably about time to release him back to the pit.
And why would I do that?
Well, he's just going to keep working on breaking free from your control. And when he does break free, and he will, you're toad food.
Tofu?
Toad food, not toad. Victor, look, you don't have to listen to anything that I say. Crap. Can you hold on for a moment? Marcone, can I call you right back? All right, great. Yeah, it'll be 5 minutes, 10 max. All right, bye. Victor, are you there? Okay, look, so...
Before we go any further, what do you know about this wizard in the phone book?
You mean Dresden? I don't know a ton about the guy, but I've heard he's pretty strong. He did get lucky and managed to defeat and banish He Who Walks Behind a few years back.
He Who Walks Behind?
Badass extra-dimensional entity. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I'd recommend avoiding Dresden if you can, but, if a confrontation with him becomes unavoidable and it comes down to it, you can probably make it easier on yourself by sticking Kolchazak on him.
I asked you to stop saying his name.
Shit, sorry. Kolchazak, no, stop. Do not eat the wizard. Victor, say his name. Say his name, say his name, say his name. Faster.
I think I would have to watch it to see if it's as entertaining as the first bit, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really liked the first bit, and I know where you're having a hiccup. Scroll up. Your hiccup is right at the start. I love the calm down, Victor. I'm a consultant for villains. Get rid of everything else. Just say villains and the like. Shorten it.
You know what? The viewers know who I am. So we'll just do that.
That works too.
Calm down, Victor. I got your name and number from Kolchazak. Sorry. The toad demon you summoned. He thinks you can use my help. I'm going to shorten this too. So, Victor, listen. I have concerns about this. I'm going to blow up people's hearts remotely using orgies and thunderstorms approach. I've heard you. I've heard you've been taken. I think that'll work better. Did you get a chance to record the lines for
That's what we're doing today.
the Borg? Okay, cool.
I wanted to talk about the Borg versus the Stitch skit. If you're good with what you've got there, we can talk about the Borg versus Stargate Goa'uld real quick and iron out a little bit of an idea. And kind of go from there. I'm not saying that we have to script that out right now. It doesn't even have to be scripted. So ideally, here's a few things I would want in this video, and this is for everyone here. This video does not have to be very long, but I want the Stargate versus Goa'uld. At some point, Borg versus the Stargate Goa'uld. At some point, the Borg ship randomly gets destroyed. Whether you're on the call with them or you find out from the Goa'uld. I like the idea that you find out from the Goa'uld, and then at the end, and like closer to the end, you hear about a furry little demon aborting the Goa'uld ship through the rings, because then we get Stitch in the Stargate universe.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's my point, to take that and do a skit with that. And we hinted that the Borg ship was destroyed. I really like this format. The Borg ship was destroyed by that. Can you make these notes for me? I apologize.
Yeah. What if Stitch ascends?
Oh my God. We're all, oh, that's so, a half ascended.
Okay, so hon. Okay, so say just like Anubis. Okay, so hon. So
but it would have to be worked down the road.
Borg ship in SG universe destroyed by Goa'uld fleet.
We find out that it was actually destroyed. It's not destroyed by the Goa'uld fleet. It is the Goa'uld are fighting them. And then the Borg ship blows up randomly. And then the rings, because for whatever reason, they probably tried to have someone on there. A furry blue demon is transported onto their ship. And we find out it's Stitch, obviously, at that point. And obviously, there's a bunch of fluff in between here. Yep. But I love that idea that we don't find out that it's Stitch until like closer to the end of the video.
Yeah.
That's not our button point for the official video. It can be the button point if we want to for the series, and you can make a note like that can be a button point, but for the video needs to go a little bit longer. That's where you go, oh no. Oh God, no. Napa, I need you to try to call Levi again. And Napa's like, no. He turned off his phone. It's the insinuation that Napa has constantly been trying to get a hold of Levi. And Levi was like, fuck you.
Okay, I've got the notes.
Okay. That's honestly...
I need like a minute.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll be right back.
Lucy, I'm home. Damn it. Damn it. Lucy, I'm home. I can't do Stitch's voice. Lucy. I can't do it. It's like up here. It's a weird little thing. Lucy, I'm home. Oh, that's not so bad. I think if I practice, I'd probably be able to. Always with the random Twitch cheap viewers thing. I've got to work on that. But yeah, that's now going to be in that skit. And like I said, I'm going to take, this is technically going to be its own series, but I'm going to take a portion of this at some point, like a portion of it. And in the Stitch series, it's going to be a meanwhile. And then we get to see that. We get to see another resolution thing and move forward. Because Borg versus Stargate Goa'uld is actually going to be the Goa'uld versus Stitch. Right? But we don't find that out until the previous video. So there's not a necessity to have it in there because it's effectively a filler that leads to the official one. You only need that one section, to be honest. I'm mad at Domino's, by the way. Domino's has their stuffed pizza labeled as Parmesan stuffed crust. It's not Parmesan stuffed crust. It's mozzarella stuffed crust with Parmesan seasoning. They lie. It's a lie. Hopefully I don't get too loud. Shouldn't have been. Like if my spouse is clear in the bedroom where they should be and that door is closed properly, I should be fine. People upstairs above me should be able to hear me, but not clear in the bedroom where people are sleeping. Ewok meets Stitch, and the Ewoks just think Stitch is a sick Ewok. What? I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't know what. Slayer, which part? I don't know. Did you delete the comment? Zena. I don't know what I missed here. Prefer Three Brothers, yeah. Gee, what if Dresden, both Constantine, Doctor Strange, Ascended Stitch, yeah. Is that a comment, by the way? At some point, Stitch has half ascended like an oops. Yeah, okay. Another mod deleted it. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. Sometimes I don't need to know. Like I could find out. I could go find out what was said, but
All right, sorry, I'm back.
all right. Okay. So we have the baseline.
Oh, I miss Casey's pizza. It's so good.
We have the baseline right here. Maybe get rid of that so that doesn't like mess it up. I'm gonna end this for now. We have two choices. We can go ahead and iron out the script right now for the Borg versus Borg ship in the Stargate universe. Or just move on to the other skit.
Well, let's get your dialogue recorded here.
Okay. All right. Give me a moment. Let me get CapCut open.
You probably need your
yeah,
your headset in, so it's not.
Give me a minute.
Hearing me. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay, I can hear you. We're gonna turn you down to about 11, and I need to look at the wrong thing apparently. So real quick, do we want Raven to do? Because so far we've had Raven voice almost all of the computer stuff as of late. They do a really great job at it when they're just given the time to like nail it.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So
Raven can record, and it doesn't need to be right now.
I need to pay them for that too. I'll just pay them. Memo. Need you to do a line for video and pay for previous work and
Hey, Alex Greer, how's it going?
current 25 bucks. I'm gonna pay them the going rate because they've done previous work for us as well. So I owe them 25 bucks.
Okay.
All right, so let's figure out the voice real quick. Y'all reach Cube 7134. Do you kind of want that? Like, do you want it a little bit deeper, a little bit higher? Like, where do we want that?
My only concern here is that if it's so thick, it's funny anyway, but if it's so thick, people are going to be like, how the hell do you get the Borg to sound like that? And that becomes the main conversation. So instead, understood, Leo. I hope you have a good night.
Well, I meant like the voice, not necessarily the accent. I can make the accent less thick. I meant the voice. Like right now, do we want to go, y'all reach Cube 7134? You've all, God, no, because the Borg are almost universally, you've all reached. You've all reached. Yeah, right there. You've all reached Cube 7134, 2 of 12 speaking. Ooh, that's pretty good right there.
That sounds almost British. That.
Oh yeah.
I say that sounds a little bit like Foghorn Leghorn or the governor of South Carolina. I say. It's
So
that Savannah accent.
Oh man. I like the y'all reach Cube 7134 to a 12 speaking. Because we don't want it to sound like me too much.
Right. I'm thinking about, just give me a second here. The normal Borg voice would be, you've reached Cube 7134, 2 of 12 speaking. Y'all have reached Cube 7134, 2 of 12 speaking. Like, still kind of robotic, but just with a twang.
Dimensional.
I have a question about, okay, I've seen this Gentry Chow show.
Oh, it's good.
Available on Netflix. Is that the same Chow character, Knives Chow from Scott Pilgrim, or totally unrelated?
Totally unrelated.
Because the animation looks super similar.
It's an awesome show. I do not know if it got renewed for a second season or not.
Okay.
But it is an awesome show. I decided, like, my kids wanted me to do videos with it, and I straight up told them no, and they asked why. I was like, 100%, if I did videos with it, it would be considered cultural appropriation. Because no matter what type of video I did, I'm running into the issue of, if I don't research the lore properly, that's what's going to happen. So, if we go and do videos, we just have to be careful about it, is all I'm saying. So I avoided it at the time because I didn't have time to sit there and make sure all the facts are correct like they did, and make sure whatever I say lines up not only with the show, but with the history that they're pulling from. Because they did their research and made sure that a lot of their stuff is correct. But if I go and say, hey, look, insert Gary's type of vampire with your type of vampire, Gary, you're counting rice now. Like they did with the shadows, we live in the shadows thing, which is a funny skit, don't get me wrong, but it's still taking that bit of lore from another culture.
Yeah,
and
no, I get
inserting
it.
in our own.
I get it 100%. Hey, y'all, we are the Borg. If you'd lower your shields and surrender your weapons, we'd be much obliged. Otherwise, it can be a bigger mess than the OK Corral.
And down the road, when we have full on the future videos, they're going to be full accent, thick, not going to sound like the Borg at all, which I think is hilarious. This one, I agree, needs to have that hint of, oh, hold on.
Foghorn Leg Borg.
The things I do. You'll reach cube. You've all reached cube. Dimensional shift detected. Dimensional shift detected. You have reached cube. You have reached cube. I don't know what I'm doing now.
Certainly the Borg are Russian.
You've all reached. You've all reached cube 7134 to a 12 speaking. Sean Connery.
I would love it. I would love it if at some point, if you did a and like spit and we hear ding like a spit hitting a spittoon at some point.
Who's to say we don't have technology advanced enough to give them the accent though too? Why don't we just lean into that instead of trying to fight it? And literally lean and have that be the joke that it's so good that when the ship blew up or whatever, we can lean into it. Let's just lean into it instead of fighting it and trying to like.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So yeah, just hit it with that accent, and John will just be like, Levi.
Y'all reach cube 7134 to a 12 speaking. Yeah, I kind of like that.
All right, so
you've all reached.
Let's start this out. We got dimensional shift detected. We see a Borg cube warp into real space, start floating towards the Earth and a large asteroid.
So I will let me know when you're ready, and I will start. Just give me a moment.
Well,
we can do the dimensional shift detected too.
Okay.
I'm gonna record from start to finish.
All right.
Get rid of my echo here.
Ready when you are.
Let me test this out real quick. Make sure I have the mic where I need it to have. Dimensional shift detected. Y'all reached cube 7134 to a 12 speaking. Nope, that is the wrong mic. Damn it. That's why we test. Testing 1, 2. That's much better. 2, 1. Dimensional shift detected. Dimensional shift detected. Y'all reach cube 7134 to a 12 speaking. Have that little bit of slur in there. Pull that out. Let's take a listen to that real quick. Now, this is without any effects. I'm going to share my audio. Dimensional shift detected. Dimensional shift detected. Y'all reach cube 7134 to a 12 speaking.
I like it.
You like it? Oh,
yeah. Right. If there's a way to put a little, I like that idea of the slight reverb.
Yeah. We can add that later in editing. All right. So let me get back.
Even if it's coming from someone who doesn't like SG1, a good idea is a good idea. Sorry, Steven, I'm giving you crap.
Y'all reached to cube show. Okay. All right. So we've got the accent down. We're gonna let it be a little bit in my voice because Levi programmed it, so there's no problem with that. So we're gonna wait for Chris to get off the phone, you hear, because she's got a little bit of a busy problem there, and it's okay. It's all right. We'll just give him a moment.
Just
all right, now we can swing on back. Home. All right. So go ahead and scroll on up to the start of the script, would you please? And we're gonna start right off the bat here. And
am I doing my lines also, or are you just doing yours?
You're gonna do your lines too. Or I'm gonna react in real time. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna start once you hear dimensional shift detected, and I'll say it twice. That's when you'll go and do your line.
All right. Sounds good.
3, 2, 1. Dimensional shift detected. Dimensional shift detected.
Dimensional shift. Don't be a Borg cube. It's a Borg cube. Cube 7134.
Beep. Y'all reach cube 7134 to a 12 speaking.
Yeah, this is John and villain support.
I reckon we've heard. Redo that line real quick. Reckon we've heard the Queen mentioning y'all. How do?
Can you hold on a moment? Levi, why did you choose Hillbilly for the new Borg voice in the phone system?
I think it's a perfectly fine and perfect. I think it's perfectly fine. I don't see anything wrong with it. Why?
So listen, you're currently in Universe 616 and you're approaching Asteroid M. You need to stop and turn around.
No can do, Mr. John. There are variant humans on board whose attributes we'd greatly like to assimilate and add to the collective.
Yeah, but that assimilation's not gonna happen. There's a guy there who controls magnetism.
What's that got to do with anything?
That means that he can reach out with his magnetic powers and crush your metal cube like a tin can, especially if he thinks you're a threat, which I'm sure that he does.
We've calculated the threat is minimal. Our shields will adapt.
2 of 12, you need to listen to me. You're dealing with Magneto, the master of magnetism, okay? He's ruthless, ridiculously powerful, and when it comes to defending Asteroid M or his fellow mutants, he's a cataclysmic danger to a cybernetic race like the Borg.
The cube's getting a little squirrely. Lots of structural fluctuations.
Please turn around now.
There's magnetic disturbance. Shields ineffective. Attempting to adapt.
Oh. I am going to hear that sound in my nightmares.
So we're going to give this a quick listen. Beep. So I don't have to do that. All right, exit out of the full screen here.
You're supposed to dig yourself out of a hole, Steven, not dig it deeper.
Dimensional shift detected.
I've seen Blade Runner twice. I liked it better the first time. I don't ever want to watch it again. I never saw the sequels.
Y'all reach cube 7134 to a 12 speaking. We have your line. I reckon we've heard. Redo that line real quick. Reckon we've heard the Queen mentioning y'all. How do? Y'all reach cube 7134 to a 12 speaking. Y'all reach cube 7134 to a 12. Can you scroll back up to that line for me, Chris, real quick? I'm gonna remove myself from here and go back here.
We are remaking Borg versus Magneto because we're gonna have it animated and we want to change. We want to make sure it's set up for animation with full voice acting and everything. Because the original is just not the original just has me.
Y'all reach cube 7134 to a 12 speaking. Reckon we heard the Queen mentioning y'all. How do? We can probably get back a little bit more, but that's all right now.
I didn't know that Devil Artemis did anything with Predators.
Kind of like that. It's still my voice, very obviously my voice.
But if you're not on screen, it's fine.
Yeah. And it's the idea that Levi used his own voice is even funnier. I was like, why'd you give him that accent?
I'm gonna change this. Levi,
why did you use your voice with a hillbilly accent for the Borg?
Why did you program the Borg to have your voice in a hillbilly accent?
I think Levi's line should just turn around and like, something wrong with it. Just take out the. I think it's perfectly fine to just look, give John a dirty look. Something wrong with it. It needs to have Levi gives John a dirty look.
Yeah.
And then just says something wrong with it. So I just go, something wrong with it.
Actually, I think, and then
slip into the. You wanting to make something of it? Yeah. You want to make something of it? I just be like, nope, I'm just gonna continue this.
It's just the same voice, and John is just like, I'm in hell. This is hell.
No, you should have that line.
Yep. I know. Hold on.
We don't need that there because that's going to change. I'm going to go ahead and give that.
Actually, that's great. So it's can you hold on a moment? Levi, why did you program the phone system to modulate the Borg to have your voice in a hillbilly accent?
You wanting to make something of it?
I'm in hell. This is hell. So listen, you just dimension jumped into Marvel Universe 616 and you're approaching Asteroid M. You need to stop and you need to turn around.
Okay.
No can do, Mr. John. These are very, very humans aboard.
Okay, let me.
Aboard that there asteroid.
Oh, are we okay? I'll just redo the rest of the lines.
Yeah.
Because my accent kind of slips, anyways.
Yeah.
Yo, reach keep 7134.
Don't worry about
we need to go scroll on down
Levi,
here a little bit.
I'm going to highlight your lines, and you can say them as they're highlighted. I'm not going to say mine because you know how yours is supposed to sound, anyways.
Yeah, well, I've got that first line. Y'all reach Cube 7. Here, let me. I wish we could have both of us, both the scenes, so you could hear me. But this has already been done, so you've all reached Cube 7134. Y'all reached Cube 7134. 2 of 12 speaking. That one's done.
Yep.
Reckon we heard the cream mention y'all. How do? I already did that one. And then I did Levi's line. You wanting to make something of it?
Yeah.
And then let me listen to this here. Y'all reach Cube 7134. Y'all reach Cube 7134. So now we can do this and hit record. No can do, Mr. John. There are variant humans on board that there asteroid whose attributes we'd greatly like to assimilate and add to the collective. Let's take a look at how that sounds real quick. We're going to remove you, add me, and listen to that. No can do, Mr. John. There are variant humans on board that there asteroid whose attributes we'd greatly like to... I say it too quickly. We're going to redo that line. Can you re-highlight the no can do? No can do, Miss Johnny Cat. There we go. No can do, Mr. John. There are variant humans on board that there asteroid whose attributes we would greatly like to assimilate and add to the collective. we're going to take a listen to that. No can do, Mr. John. There are variant humans on board that there asteroid whose attributes we would greatly like to assimilate and add to the collective. Ooh, I really like how that came out.
I do too.
All right. And this is the benefit of doing voicing right here ourselves, is like we can get the lines perfect.
Yeah.
During the thing. What's that got to do with anything? What's that got to do with anything? Add to the collective. What's that got to do with anything? I hadn't gotten done with that line, Chris.
Oh, sorry.
You're all good. I want to listen to it real quick. Yeah, no, I got to redo that line. So, what's that got to do with anything? And add to the collective. What's that got to do with anything? Let's take a look and listen to that real quick. That's such a short line. I like that. That's not a bad take. I'll have you listen to it just to confirm.
All right.
What's that got to do with anything? So we go from here back to assimilate and add to the collect.
Yeah.
What's that got to do with anything? It's a very nonchalant, not worried. I really like that. Okay. Burp, burp. Okay. Next line. Well, now you see here, we've calculated the threat is minimal. Our shields will adapt. Okay, let's take a listen to that on my end real quick. Ooh, I really like how that came out. Okay, hold on. Well, now you see here, we've calculated the threat is minimal. Our shields will adapt. You like that? Or you want me to do it? Huh?
Let's
Here,
do it one or two more times.
Okay. Let me bring that back up here. Now, see here, we've calculated the threat is minimal. Our shields will adapt.
Yeah. That's great.
Hold on. Let's see here. So this take right here. Now, see here, we've calculated the threat is minimal. Our shields will adapt. Ooh, yeah, I agree. That's a much better take.
Yep.
All right, so there's that.
Hold on one second.
Oh my! The cube's getting a little squirrely. Lots of structural fluctuations.
What do you call them?
Whatchamacallem? Fluctuations. Structural fluctuations. Which, oh yeah, I get it. There's a space.
Ooh my! The cube's getting a little squirrely. Lots of them structural whatchamacallem. Oh yeah, fluctuations.
We've calculated the threat is minimal. Our shields will adapt. Oh my! The cube's getting a little squirrely. Lots of them structural. Whatchamacallem? Oh yeah, fluctuations. Reminds me of Grandma's hayride. Hoo-wee! I'm so sorry. Let's listen to that. Listen to that take. The cube's getting a little squirrely. Lots of them structural. Whatchamacallem. Oh, yeah. Fluctuations. Reminds me of Grandma's hayride. Hoo-wee!
Get rid of the reminds me of Grandma's hayride bit. reminds me of Grand Borg's hayride.
Yeah, do Grand Borg's hayride.
Yeah.
Let's try it out. I gotta go away from the mic when I do the who my who my. Oh, do the yeehaw at the end. Yeehaw! Yeehaw! I don't know. Hoo-wee! Oh, I like the hoo-wee a lot better, actually. Hoo-wee! Getting worse than an alley cat and a hay bale. Oh my gosh! That's probably a much better better line.
Yep. Let's get that. We can't have two. So
No. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, pardon me. Let me take a drink of water real quick. Let me listen to this. Hooma! Hooma! Cube's getting a little squirrely. Worse than an alley cat and a hay bale. Lots of them structural, whatchamacallem. Oh, yeah! Fluctuations! Hoo boy!
And actually, if it goes out a little bit, that's perfect because it means that they're starting to get some issues with their systems.
Yeah.
All right. Then you got
Let's redo the oh my. It's cutting out. Let's see if I go. Who my? Who my? All right, here it is. And we can go here. So salvage that. And we go here. And then we go here and here. Give it a tiny bit of space because now that I've gotten that space, I'm able to use it. All right, we're going to listen to this real quick. Ooh, my! He was getting a little squirrely. Worse than an... That's, I cut that a little too far. And we'll add that here. Ooh, my! He was getting a little squirrely. Worse than an alley cat and a hay bale. Lots of them structural, whatchamacallem. Oh, yeah, fluctuations. That's actually really good. Did you hear that?
yeah, I did.
How it cuts out?
Yep.
For future recordings, I will say that we're going to need to figure out how to make it so that it doesn't cut out. But for now, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right. I like that. That worked out really well. Okay, what's the next line here?
Next line has been updated. Big old magnetical. Make sure you say magnetical and not magnetic. Big old magnetical disturbance out here, Mr. John.
All right. Big old magnetical big old magnetical disturbance out here, Mr. John. Shields ineffective. Adapt.
Say the shield's ineffective part slower.
Okay, 1 second. Let's listen to the take real quick first, and then see what we can fix. Big old magnetical Magnetics, big old magnetical disturbance out here, Mr. John. Shields, ineffective. Adapt. So, shields, ineffective. Right there, we can...
Actually, you can leave it as is, but with the adapting. And that part, like you can put some static in there, so it sounds like it's kind of breaking up. And then,
do you want me to edit the voice clips before I give them to you, or just give them to you as is, so you can edit them the way you want?
Yeah, I can do that, and then we'll start with the crunching sound right around when that begins.
All right. So we're gonna listen to it from start to finish, everyone, and see what it all sounds like together. I'm going to, of course, cut some of the dead space out. There's no reason to have a shit ton of dead space because he's gonna fix it the way he wants it. So. And I'm going to leave a bunch of room there for editing purposes. So if anyone's wondering why I'm not like shoving everything down into one, it's so that Chris can move things as he wants without having to worry about it. And I'm also just going to send you this as its own file in the CapCut cloud. That way you can use that. One second here. Kiddo, I'm working. What's up? Give me a second here. 1 second. Have Raven send me a message on Discord about it. All right, bye. Okay. All right. We need to go. Dimensional shift detected. Dimensional shift detected. Beep. Y'all reach Cube 7134 212 speaking. Reckon we heard the Queen mention y'all. How do? You wanting to make something of it? All right, Chris, since you can see the script.
Yeah.
Can you I'm gonna play this and I'm gonna move it as each line indicates because each line is in order.
Yep.
And we don't have extra takes because I deleted them. So let me know when you're ready and I'm gonna start.
Am I gonna do my lines also then or what?
Yeah, you're gonna do your lines and I'm gonna press play so we can hear what it sounds like together.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Dimensional shift detected.
Dimensional shift. Don't be a Borg cube. It's a Borg cube. Cube 7134.
Beep. Y'all reach Cube 7134 212 speaking.
Yeah, this is John and villain support.
Reckon we heard the Queen mention y'all. How do?
Can you hold on a moment? Levi, why did you program the phone system to modulate the Borg to have your voice in a hillbilly accent?
You wanting to make something of it?
I'm in hell. This is hell. So listen, you just dimension jumped into Marvel Universe 616 and you're approaching Asteroid M. You need to stop and you need to turn around.
No can do, Mr. John. There are variant humans on board that there asteroid whose attributes we would greatly like to assimilate and add to the collective.
Yeah, but that assimilation is not going to happen, okay? There's a guy there who controls magnetism.
What's that got to do with anything?
That means that he can reach out with his magnetic powers and crush your metal cube like a tin can, especially if he thinks you're a threat, which I'm sure that he does.
Now, see here, we've calculated the threat as minimal. Our shields will adapt.
2 of 12, you need to listen to me, okay? You're dealing with Magneto, the master of magnetism. He is ruthless, ridiculously powerful, and when it comes to defending Asteroid M or his fellow mutants, he is a cataclysmic danger to a cybernetic race like the Borg.
Oh my! Cube's getting a little squirrely. Worse than an alley cat in a hay bale. Lots of them structural, whatchamacallit. Oh yeah, Fluctuations.
Please turn around now.
Big old magnetical magnetics. Big old magnetical disturbance out here, Mr. John. Shields ineffective. Adapt. Dimensional shield.
I am gonna hear that sound in my nightmares.
I for that last take, I was thinking, I was like, I just redid the line. Listening to it from start to finish
Yeah.
about like him trying to recorrect himself
Yep.
is somehow even funnier.
With the big old magnetical.
Yeah. Big old magnetical magnetics. Big old magnetical disturbance out here, Miss. I really like that. That works out really well. Do you like it? That was good? You guys like it?
Yeah, I think it's great.
Being a hillbilly doesn't mean I believe Shakespeare went forward in time and met them. Gotta say, the techno babble in this script is really bad. And of course it is. It's a Star Trek skit. I'm kidding. Still think the ending sounds panicked. That's because like you have a moment. And again, this is going to be edited. That last bit is going to be edited where you hear static and stuff, and it's going to get cut off. So the panic portion of it will more than likely get completely cut, and the portion where it's not there, and we can always redo it if he wants me to.
I think it's great as is.
Rename Hillbilly Borg. I told you to message me on Discord, kiddo. All right. Well, all right. All right. Give me a second here. I'm trying to get it accomplished. What do you need? Hello? Oh, they dialed me out like that.
Yeah, we want the ending to sound a little panicked.
Okay. There we go. I'm gonna take. Do you want me to wear my headset for the take where I look at John?
Doesn't matter.
Let's go ahead and have me wear the headset as if I was on a call and I got interrupted.
But here's what I want you to do. I don't want you to just be like, you want to make something of it? I want it to be this. You want to make something of it?
You want to make something of it?
Like a real slow turn with a little bit of a smirk on your face. Just.
Now, are we recording this with the? Are we recording this with the back of the phone?
We are recording this horizontally, not vertically.
Yeah, but with the front or the back of the phone.
If you can do the back, do the back.
Okay. Let me clean up the phone real quick. Let me add in everything here. That idea that Levi lets the accent slip and just like bring it, bitch.
Right?
Because also the fun fact of like, you know, you have this powerful being that John is, and while Levi respects his power, he is not afraid of John.
Right.
He acts afraid in some instances, but it's less afraid for himself and more afraid for like the paperwork that's probably about to happen.
Yep.
Oh, all right. Let's do that. 9:16. No, we are going to do full. Okay. Not entirely sure how this is going to turn out because of how I have to get things set up on my end. Oh, this is so lovely. No, I don't want front facing camera. Turn it back. Turn it back. Okay. And we plug this in here. We're going to go like that. We're going to do a quick screen grab of what this looks like in my normal spot and then take a look at it. And while we're at it, we'll go ahead and do the line, which is you want. I did the thing. You wanting to make something of it? No, it would have helped if I hit record.
Always helps.
Here we are. Okay, so that should be like that. You wanting to make something of it? That's going to get annoying. I'm going to have to figure out stuff for that.
What do you mean stuff for that?
Shit, the mic was in the way. So I need to have it more angled that way. So like I can control it. Like I can't have it on my stand right now and control it through my case, because my case is my thing. Move it about like that. Like that. You want to make something of it? Oh, you know what? Let's do this. You want to make something of it? Kind of like that take. Hopefully, let's record that. And hopefully it's a good take. It's that fucking light now. There's enough here, though. I think you can kind of work with it. Let me.
Oh, I'm sure I can.
I'll have to fix the lighting over here for this thing. I think if I have it more centered here at that point. So let's do this. That records like that, right? Yeah, okay. That was the fall off is the only problem. So let's try that. Gotta make sure I'm still recording. Of course I'm not. that. Hopefully it's recording through the correct audio port. Let's. You want to make something of it? Kind of like that thing. You want to make something of it? You want to make something of it? Let's see. Take a look at that. I love how this one line, because I'm recording it differently, it's causing me trouble. I think this might work better because you can cut off certain bits and raise it in. The only problem is like there's no upper part. So I'm going to send this to you on Discord and let you take a look at these real quick.
Perfect.
That one and that one. And the reality is it's just like recording differently also means that we're going to have to adjust our setup or possibly our equipment on how we record and things.
Yeah.
But that was something that we were aware of. So everyone that's here that might be wondering why we're having so much difficulty. Effectively, we set up to record horizontally.
Yep.
And we have things ironed out, worked out to record horizontally. And that's still going to be a thing where there are times where we do that. But for animation skits and things like that, it's much easier and better for us to get used to recording horizontally.
100%. And honestly, it's going to earn us more and more.
I can't hear a word you're saying because I don't have the. No, just wait. There you go.
And honestly, it's going to earn us more revenue on YouTube, having horizontal videos and being able to release the same thing or snippets of it vertically versus the whole thing vertically.
All right, you want to go ahead and take a look at that?
Yeah.
We can hide that comment too. Thank you, Quadisticor 495 for joining, becoming a sponsor, as well as Jason, Luke, Kimberly. You want to make something of it, big boy? No. So there's a specific reason why I wanted to say that because like the southern part of me really wants to say that. I am avoiding saying that last bit, and the reason why is because it's got a negative association to it. And well, I didn't grow up with that negative association in the way that it's got towards it. Media in general, yeah. So I'm probably not going to say that line very often. We're not here. To everyone wondering.
Hopefully it's audio port. Let's.
So I can't see what I'm recording.
You want to make something of it? Ooh, kind of like that thing.
So the one problem we're going to have with the horizontal.
You want to make something of it?
All right. So here's the problem we're going to have with the horizontal. The first video you sent is kind of at like this weird up angle on you where you're on this half of the screen and there's a whole bunch of blank.
And because I can't see the camera, I can't figure out the good angle.
Right. Do you have one of these guys?
I do not.
Okay.
I need to get one. Because
so
if I'm right, it even allows you to control the camera and start and stop it, right?
Now you made the comment that your front camera is as good as my back camera, right?
Yeah, my front camera is 50 megapixel camera, but it can't
use
like
your front camera. Just use your front camera to do it.
Yeah, I can do that.
Because the second video, your positioning is great, but let me show this to you. Literally,
there it goes.
1 second.
The biggest
got-
problem I see with the front camera is that I can't zoom out. So
That's
like my
fine.
back cameras are like 100 megapixels, and I
Yeah.
can zoom out. Like
Well,
watch.
But
So I
to
can-
take a look at this, so you got this, and you're turning to look at me, and all this is clearly in the way between you and me.
Yeah, and I was like, you could cut that out and zoom me in, but you're gonna have some issues with it. So if you look here, I've got I got that 0.6, which zooms it out. That one, if I'm right, is about what it's gonna look like. Yeah, see, I can't zoom out on the other one. I would have to sit back clear here because it's zoomed so far in on the front facing camera. Well, although it's really clear and everything, we have that issue no matter what.
Yeah.
So the biggest issue here, and this is a good example of it because it showed it. I accidentally hit record. So that's me sitting clear in the back like that. And then you'll see when I scoot up how much it cuts off. If it
Can you
presses.
put it higher up?
That's as high up as I can put it in my positioning of everything right now. And the biggest thing is, like, because it's the front facing cam, it's zoomed all the way in. I can't unzoom it out. The only way to unzoom it out is literally to move my camera all the way back and then record. And like it's not feasible or smart to try to do my front facing cam, and I just need to be able to see with my back facing cam well enough. Now you basically need it to be higher, right?
Well, so here's the other option. Hold on. Just hold on a second. Let me download that. Kill that. Open this up.
Like I was
And
just
then
gonna say, you could cut and edit that portion of it off and zoom it in, but like depending on how much you zoom it in, it might wind up, this is what I'm discussing.
Yeah, let me just as an example show this to you here. This is just going to be, I'm just going to leave it like that for now.
I have some concerns about this.
No, we're doing this part.
And get to repeating his name before he eats you.
There it goes.
So we got that there.
You want him?
Pause, you fucking thing. All right. Let me just do this real quick. Hold on. We can just zoom in like that because it's just a small part.
Yeah.
You want to make something of it?
That's all we need to do. So yeah, this will actually be fine.
Yeah. But for future, getting me one of those things, I don't know how much they are, but getting me one of those so that I can figure out, and I might need, a new stand for this area on top of that to film in that style and figure out the angle. But that's something we're both going to have to do. For everyone here, it's just one of those things where we are aware that this is Steven, no, that's the tone he wants me to have. He wants me to sound overly confrontational. Like Levi took personal offense to John getting upset about the voice. And this leads to another skit, which will be the reason as to why Levi is overly confrontational. We'll find out, like, oh, this happened before this. And I do have a minion that can help me record. They just don't do a great job holding still. And while I do have a gimbal, it's not great. And even then, my desk setup is not the same as Chris's. So I have to like adjust things so that the lighting works as well. I have so many like minuscule problems to worry about like in the back setting, if you look at the back camera, the lighting isn't as great as the front camera. That's another thing that the front camera does and handles because it's a software thing. I can't fix that. That would be post editing. Now on the bright side, that's also 100 megapixels. And although this is compressed data after sending it on Discord, if I had sent it on somewhere else, he would have had a quote unquote higher resolution. That's still 100 resolution. What's 54 to $100? Oh, the little, yeah. No, it's why I'm like, I wouldn't mind getting one. It's just one of those things where it's a bit on the expensive side for me to be like, yes, it's going to make my job easier, but we need to make sure I get the correct one, that it works, all that stuff. As long as it works with Android, it should work with my phone.
It's just Bluetooth.
Yeah, so then it should work. The handheld
Give me
helper.
1 second here.
Yeah, no, they're expensive. I just can't. I'm not saying I can't justify it. I just don't have the money right this second, and I won't have the money until after Friday. And we have other videos to possibly record in that same format. It's like,
yeah, there's one for $50 on. Are you able to connect your phone to your computer? To mirror your phone to your computer by any chance?
Yeah, should be able to, kind of.
Because if you can do that, then you can use your computer screen for it.
I don't know.
Here's one that's $33.
The way we want it to, but I can try.
Yeah, there's one here that's does Android have MagSafe on the back like iPhones?
No.
Okay.
But that's not a huge concern because most of my cases, depending on how that's set up, Chris,
Yeah.
I have a ring on this case for a variety of things.
Cool. So there's a MagSafe one for $30 on the TikTok shop right now.
A USB-C cable, yeah, but also no, because that tethers me and limits my ability to move the camera where it needs to be moved and stuff. Because then, like, it's not that I don't have a long enough cord. I have a long enough cord. The problem is the cord interfering with the recording. I've had it happen before when I'm tethered in for charging. Where a take was ruined because I bumped the table by accident, and the cord shook my phone versus my phone being stable because the cord was that one thing that was attached that went and made the whole thing shake. So I'm not a huge fan of tethering because of that. So I can link it. It's just a pain in the ass to get it all to link and work and then have it go from there for the phone camera. There's a phone link app thingy. But it's mostly using it as a webcam. So I'm not quite confident how well it would work. How do I? I'll have to look at this. I'll keep this up and I'll take a look at this later.
All right. We'll figure it out.
Figure it out. Yeah. To everyone else, though, the reason why we want an external device is that like, let's say we want to move it somewhere. My computer's not like movable like that, and I wouldn't want it to be anyways. Having a device similar to what Chris has allows that that help of being able to just look and see and move it where. I'm not worried about the Bluetooth. So the reality is the only thing I need the Bluetooth, and like it just needs to work so I get the angle and I see it, and then I hit record. I wait until it registers me recording, and then I just record, because all that is essentially a remote device showing it. It can be laggy as much as it wants. The phone itself will be handling the recording and everything like that, and do what it needs to do. It's just it's basically like a remote. That's all it is. And technically speaking, if I could see stuff, this little stylus right here is also a remote that I could click and have it record. Which they don't make them like that anymore, which sucks. But I do have that ability. All right. So for now, that take works, correct?
Yes.
All right. So then that's that video effectively done. Chris is gonna edit it with his vision.
I need to record mine. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's gonna record his. We talked about, so I did my lines, I did my recording. We talked about the stitch stuff. Effectively, we got a bunch of stuff done. Unless you want to sit here and iron something out, or do the record. The stylus is more than just a phone pen. Yeah, on this phone it is. The newer ones, it is not. Stylus is mostly just a stylus. But this is still the Bluetooth charge import. And like you can get the ultra versions. I think still some of them still have it. But this particular one is also a remote control. I can do like air things if I learn how to do them and all that. I can write. Let's see here. Gotta let me do it.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I've got it. So I can just get this hooked in, and then I've got it set up.
So you see the little pin thing? How it moved?
Yeah.
You can't use the app actions on the screen. So if I want to take a photo of myself, just took a photo of you guys. If I want to hit record, I can hit record.
So what I'll have to do to do this is I have to do this way. I'll have to turn this on.
So realistically speaking, if I got a mirror, because of this little recording thing, I could still do it, which is really nice. But it's still a matter of, at the end of the day, it's a matter of seeing what's on the screen, putting it in the correct area, and having something to hold it in that correct area that is stable.
Right.
And then from there, I've got a remote control, right? But it's the seeing part that's an issue. And I can do it with mirrors. But the problem with mirrors is that, like, I'm working with the fact that it's backwards, and I have to constantly remind myself of that. And it's really damn annoying to be like, is my shirt backwards in the camera? Is that
All right, this is so with this whole setup, it's too heavy for the gimbal.
And it won't let you be untethered with it? You said
I didn't think about that. Yeah, no, I can totally set it up with what. Yeah, I have to connect it to my phone's Wi-Fi. There's a way to do it.
Yeah, so you connect it, and then you can not have it on there, and then you can have it on your gimbal and do this stuff.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, it doesn't actually need to be on the phone. I hadn't even thought about that. Fucker. Let go. Okay, here we go. All right, so this goes to no, go away. Go away.
You're gonna have to explain that one, Mark. I don't know what that means. But yeah, that is done. It's gonna be weird seeing me animated. That's gonna be a thing. To everyone here wondering, we for those who are wondering about the animation stuff, so the video that we're working on is going to get animated, right? There's going to be a live action animation. Now, Chris, a real quick question, because I know with the last one, we put out the live action, full live action, and then about a week later we put out the animation, and we know that hurt the animation. I'm of the mindset of let's remake this, have him animate, put the animation parts where we want the animation parts, release that, hold on to the full animation for ourselves that where we're animated, and then release the full non-animated version as a separate one for those that like to watch it like a week or two later, and let the that way we can see how well the animated does if it's released before the live action.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I'm trying to get this to connect.
I was wondering if you registered it or...
Just 1 second.
Nope. Okay. Levi has the Ginger Rogers conundrum. And then Mark says she did everything the male dancers, Fred Astaire, etc., but backwards and on high heels. Oh, got it. I'm tired. Just a smidge.
There we go. All right. Yeah. So I've got it connected now. So I can set this up right here.
Okay. Real quick. Did you process what I said earlier about the animation stuff?
Say it again, please.
Okay. So, we know that we hurt the chances of the animation by having the live action and then the animation a week later with two different animations, right?
I don't think the live action versus the animation hurt it at all. I think it was releasing both animations at the same time was a problem.
Well, what I was thinking was let's remake it with the full live action like we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Let him animate, and I was suggesting as a test, because it's not, if it doesn't hurt to do both, right? Then as a test, let's release the live action animation mix first, and then a week later the full live action, and then we can get some feedback from it. This way, we give it the best possible chance to succeed.
The animation succeed, yeah.
Yes, the animation. I want to give the animation, this one, the 100%. It's not going to compete against a different video. It's not going to compete against the same video made in a slightly different way. I want to make sure that it has the best chance it possibly can.
Right.
And thank you so much, Segre Bud Thing, for the $2. I wonder if is Space Godzilla. Well, we did that. We did. I want to swing back to it and remake it because it was a solid idea, but unfortunately, when I was trying to remake, basically the meme of Mr. Godzilla stomping through Tokyo song, the Ultimate Destiny, Ultimate Battle of Ultimate Destiny.
Yeah.
When I was trying to remake that in our style, I had a solid foundation, a solid idea, and the videos that I released were awesome. There were two problems. One, me and Chris agreed that a lot of the references were massively out of date.
Yep.
And so we were trying to fix the song. And I still believe that that's something that we should visit later on. But I've come to the realization that if we want to do this, we should just do it as if we're in the time period and reacting at that time period to it. But when I was trying to film it, Chris was incredibly busy with one of the videos I had released, and I needed Chris for. He was on a work trip. He straight up was not able to do it. The second one, which the first one was that one. The second one did well, but it was a similar aspect. He just got back from the trip. He was tired, he was exhausted, and he was working, and he had work like the next day. So he couldn't help with that one. By the third one, we both agreed that it was effectively too late, and the video traction had died down enough that we're like, meh. But there is 100% a reason to do that whole thing in our style, but probably just keep it true to form.
Oh, dude, I can put this here right above where my script is, and I can look at myself here and not look at that camera.
Yeah. Can you touch that and hit record? Like, that's touchscreen, right?
No,
That one's not?
no, it's not.
So how do you hit record on, like, how do you control the recording? You still have to, like, reach around and hit record? Oh. I guess that'll be the benefit of my little remote click. Hello, alien nurse. I'm pretty sure that on that. Oh my god, I am.
If you want to go to bed, man.
I can't even go to bed at this point. I gotta stay up for a certain amount of time, anyways. I want to see you do the recording, and then, like, if I still have it in me, go ahead and talk a little bit more about the Stitch script and see if we have an idea that floats through. If we don't, we just call it a day afterwards. Chris gives his computer. I'm not repeating that one. Who is Kerrigan? Am I missing something from that?
Huh?
I don't know who. Like, there's a conversation going on about Kerrigan.
Kerrigan was a human from Starcraft. Human spy who got captured by the Zerg and converted into the Zerg Queen thing.
I don't know. I have never played StarCraft. That was not one of the games I was in. Like, I think I might have played like something down the road that was related to StarCraft, but like had like zero real story to it. So
Trying to get myself so I'm not blocking the picture of Darth what's his name?
go like this. Just tilt it. There you go.
Zoomed in. Not is zoomed out too far now.
Then can you control it so you micro zoom it in a little bit? Are you sure you can't? Like, I know it's there, but
Sure.
Instead of 0.6, not 0.1, but like just zoom a little bit and then turn.
That's great. Okay. So
Yeah.
0.7 is it. And I need to put some more stuff along this wall.
For now, it's okay though. It's one of those things where it's the same thing as like how many videos of mine did really well, even though I had a pitch black or pitch white wall.
Right.
And then as soon as I started putting stuff on there, people engaged longer with the video.
Yeah. I'm just not centered in the screen anymore, which is annoying me. No, meaning that if I center myself in the screen, that's blocked.
So you're experiencing a different issue than I am, which me and Chris talked about the possibility of him having to move his desk to do these type of videos, and we're like, maybe he won't have to, but without like really setting it up to get the camera angles, it's all assuming whether or not you'd be able to. Do you think you're going to have to rearrange things down the road to make life
I don't
easier?
want to, but I may have to.
Yeah.
Let me do this real quick. Let me just put this here. Just a little bit further away.
Joel? Let's talk about that. Joel is the I would burn the world for you. Okay? And he did. He could not take the pain of losing another child. Right? And we're talking about the same Joel. Are you frozen, Chris?
No.
Do I think that that's a villain? As a father, it's a complicated question. So I've come close to, I've discussed this before where there was a couple incidences, but like the fact that I haven't had to deal with it changes things massively. I cannot blame Joel for what he did. That's what it boils down to. Do I think he made the right choice? It's complicated because if you go with the science that they said instead of the like real science, because they got the science wrong in the game, and no way a bunch of scientists popped on, a bunch of Redditor users called it out and like, she wouldn't have died. This wouldn't have been a thing of how you would battle a fungal infection type of thing and that kind of stuff. Anyways, so if we were to do a video on it, I would call the very obvious plot holes out and I would side with Joel. I'd be like, no, you did the right thing. The scientists were fucking stupid. You shouldn't have trusted them. Like, I don't know where they got them, but they definitely were the bottom of the barrel, like high school rejected scientist that thought that they had a cure and probably didn't. Right? I would call it out for what it is. I would call out the very obvious thing. But if we went with the game logic, where, and this a video pointed this out really well.
This is actually a really good angle.
For him too.
Right here is a really good angle.
All right, then use that angle.
I'll be right back. I want to show the audience the new shirt, the other shirt.
When Joel makes that choice, he has no reason not to believe that choosing to sacrifice her would save the world. No reason whatsoever not to believe that.
Here's the other new shirt, everybody.
So in his head, roll for sanity. Ah, you failed.
Failures, 2 out of 3.
I seriously.
This is also available on villainsupport.com.
I also did. I also wanted to do roll for the fucks I give, and it's all failures, meaning you have none to give.
You're not putting that on a shirt in our shop. Sorry.
And I'm still waiting for the Stitch art. I don't know what's going on with that. Because I'm not opening up my own shop until I have something to put there that is the line that we were like, okay. Because that's how I'm going to build up. Oh, man.
So it'll be...
I had the money and could get it by Saturday to get that shirt for my kid in his graduation gift.
This one?
Yeah. Wheeling Dragon. You are a mod, aren't you, in chat? For like 1 or 2 of the socials, and been one for a while.
I don't think it'd get there by Saturday.
No, I don't think it would. Oh, never mind. He knew where I was coming to him.
Yep.
Okay, never mind. Still, you're a huge supporter of the channel, so.
Yep.
Also, in the second game, they found like over 50 kids that had Ellie's immunity, and they were able to prove that if they had children, they'd. Yeah, so basically, as time goes on, quite simply, humanity will survive as long as those who have the immunity survive. Over time, humanity would take the Earth back.
Of what?
Then The Last of Us.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
It's a zombie thing using mushrooms.
That's why I don't know what it is. Me and horror don't get along in any way, shape, or form. I got too much imagination.
I got too much imagination. Do you are you gonna record right now? Or are you gonna record later?
No, I'm not going to record it right now. My phone's low on battery, and I'm struggling to find the right angle. I'm going to try to use this thing, but I'm gonna record this later or tomorrow.
All right. So
I can tell you want to be done.
it's more along the lines of I want to like take a quick look at this and then be done.
I don't think you want to be done, but I think your body is like, stop.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, because like no matter what, like I'm pretty sure I can come up with some random stuff, but I'd rather be like on my game than sitting here trying to figure out what to think for the next thing. So we'll revisit the Borg ship in the Stargate universe fighting the Gould fleet and stuff like that. We have the basic outline, which is what I wanted to get done today. I got the voicing stuff done today. We have an outline of how to move Stitch forward and the videos and everything. We did a great job. I know Dragon Hunt, I think you're just joining. I'm about to end the stream. No, you don't get any more time.
Yeah. I think that
sorry. I know. Love you. Bye.
I think that we've got a lot done today.
Yeah.
I'll get this recorded. I'll get the recording over to OpenOC. I still think the fans would like to see this video with the Hillbilly Borg.
Live action. Yeah, no. Okay. So to make it clear, I'm saying we still release the live action. I'm simply saying we release the animation first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'll make it clear here.
Excuse me.
Oh wow, that is horribly. One second. Whatever. Ah, my goodness, it is horrible. Typing skills. Here it is. So release animation live action. It's supposed to be mix. There we go. Release animation live action mix of Hillbilly Borg first, and then a week later release the full live action. This way we give the animation the best chance to take off. So that way the animation isn't competing against the same video in any shape, form, or way. It's the first one that's released, so we get some feedback of, you know what, I love this style so much, and then a week later we get people who are like, oh, you know what, I really like this one better, and this one because you had more stuff. But giving the animation a chance, saying, I was like, I am the first video there isn't another video like me yet.
Yeah.
Because no matter how you slice it, if we had waited, a month down the road, I don't think the Avatar live action would have been competing in any sense against the animation.
Right.
But a week later is still enough time for them to both be hitting the algorithm with similar titles and everything. I don't know how much it affected it, but there is 100% a chance that it affected it.
Yeah.
And then having the two drop at the same time definitely did not help its chances. So it's just a matter of like, you know what? We know the audience wants this. Let's give this video, since it's a chance to do so, the best opportunity it has to be pushed out.
Right. No, that's fair. All right.
And then we release the live action a week later and be like, okay, everyone, this for those that like just the live action. And of course, for those that are wondering, yes, there will be a pure animation version. We're just still like at a coin toss whether or not we will release it on this channel or we'll just hold on to it for the animation only channel. I'm kind of the hold on to it as a resource. Anyways, nice to see you guys animated. Yeah, it is. It's going to be really cool to see myself animated. We got to see Chris, and there's going to be some design tweaks for Chris. And it's going to be nice to see myself. It'll be interesting. But everyone, I want to thank you so much for joining. I really am fading fast here. I want to thank you all for joining us. I wish you all peace of mind, serenity, body, and spirit, and harmony among others. Remember to take one breath, one step, one day at a time. Until the winds blow your sails my way. Have an Acme Day.
Have an Acme Day is a part of the Acme. Have an Acme Day is a part of the villain. Have an Acme Day is a part of the villain. Having an Acme Day will retroactively build your account. Have an Acme Day.
And remember, have an Acme Day simply means to have the best day you possibly can. And I'm aware of the actual definition for people who keep trying to correct me. It still fits. Bye, y'all.
Night.